It's been happening in one form or another for some 90 years, these gatherings to promote the art of congregational singing.
The Hymn Society for me is sort of a spiritual renewal.
An oasis in the desert. It's been a kind of a shelter in the time of storm. It's a place where you could come and really recreate and regenerate your energies and enthusiasm.
Is the best place to feed me spiritually, academically, and practically as a musician.
The key part has been for me watching the networking, and it begins often just with the experience of singing in a large assembly that love music, love hymns.
They are pastors, church musicians, hymn writers, poets, college and seminary professors, and people from varied walks of life who just enjoy coming together yearly to become familiar with what's new in the evolution of this vital element of any congregation's worship service, singing.
Hymns are a way to express our faith, to respond to God's goodness in our lives, and to say the things together in worship that need to be said, whether it's praise or prayer or confession. The words of the hymn allow us to do that, and more than just voicing those ideas individually, hymns allow us to express those thoughts corporately as the body of Christ gathered for worship.
Singing in a congregation is one of the most powerful ways that people participate in the life of the church.
They are really the performers before God who is in the audience, in the audience of our worship and our praise. And how we prepare those performers, or our congregations, if you will, is so important.
The Hymn Society's main focus has been the annual conference, a yearly time of fellowship, networking, attending workshops on elements of worship, getting acquainted with new hymnals and other resources, and participating in one of the most inspiring singing experiences anywhere.
I always come away having learned so much, whether it's in the plenaries or in the sectionals. I always come away with a handful of new hymns to bring home, and I just love it. It's one of my favorite weeks of the entire year.
In the future, the Hymn Society expects to hold regional conferences for people who can't travel to the annual gathering, but are still able to learn from each other and be encouraged in the creation of new works and the art of hymn and songwriting. Another important role of the Hymn Society is responding to the needs of pastors who find themselves in congregations with no trained musician and are untrained themselves.
And they find that they must be the ones to lead the hymns and to encourage the church's music, but they don't have the skills to do that.
A two-day first-of-its-kind workshop on that topic was offered at the 2013 annual conference led by John Thornburg, focusing on the pastor's role in using music in the life of a congregation. It's the kind of information that will be offered to colleges and seminaries that have been cutting back on music-related training.
How do you choose the hymns? If there's a new text that you'd really like to use, how do you find the tune that suits it well and that your congregation can sing?
It's very important, and the church dearly needs this kind of preparation in their clergy.
The Hymn Society exists to offer resources to all who are engaged in the work of giving voice to the church's worship of God through song.